Guys, we are going on a journey today. A journey into the reality of Grand Champ Rocket League. So many players like to say that they can't wait to reach Grand Champion because that's the level where players stop making horrendous mistakes. And at least the mistakes that are made are a lot less obvious. And while this is sometimes true, there are other times where Grand Champ players make some of the worst mistakes that you can possibly imagine. And in today's video, we'll be taking a look at a game that is very possibly the single worst game of Grand Champ Rocket League that I have ever been in. In fact, it's so bad that it might just be the worst Grand Champ lobby in the history of Rocket League. So come along with me as we take a look at a lobby of Grand Champs that look a lot more like a lobby of Plats. So here we are inside the worst Grand Champ lobby that possibly has ever been. We got myself, my teammate Evan, Harry Johnson, and Private, and we are about to put on a show for you guys. So let's go ahead and get right on into this and see exactly what's going on here. And real quick, just for clarity's sake, if you have any doubt of what we're talking about, you can see currently GC2 in 2. So very real as to what level this is. We're talking like the top 0.5% of the player base here in this game is what we're looking at. So let's take a look off the initial kickoff. Hopping on in to support our teammate on 0 boost. Gonna grab some boost ourselves. Just kind of hang out here. Nothing, crazy too far. We're just waiting, reading the possible pass. Cut off the angle to the net. Sure, why not? Rotate on around. Teammate. Gotta clear out there. We're gonna move up the field to support him. And there we go. Yippee. First missed opportunity, and this is going to start a flurry of moments here that are rather interesting. So, of course, we have this situation right here where the ball is bouncing off the backboard, and us, in our endless wisdom, instead of waiting the extra, half second where we would actually know where the ball is going, we get scared of this bump and decide, you know what? I need to just jump as soon as possible to make sure I avoid this. But in doing so, we may have a ever so slight misread on the ball. Just a little bit. We've only missed it by a little. But now the problem is, obviously myself and my teammate both up the field. That's a horrendous spot to be in. We've just given a free counterattack to our opponents. So let's see how they handle this. Well, Private just easily slaps that ball right down the field. Gonna be a 1-0 lead for them. Unless, of course, you are his teammate and you want to try to steal this goal. Then you do something like that and just, clear that ball out to the side. Why, yes, a genius start from everybody involved. First 30 seconds has been fascinating at best. Let's reset here. Yep, down the field we go. Teammate wanting to get in on the missed open net action, and then, why don't we have any boost here? This is interesting. So, we have the obvious moment here, right, where teammate just also bangs the post. That happens, of course. Let's just take a look at the brilliant boost pathing coming through from yours truly here. So we come off the backboard. We land with 0 boost. There's no mid boost here. We recognize that. But now observe the masterful dodging of all of the small pads. This is very important in your own games. If you want to ensure that you stay on 0 boost for as long as possible, you really need to master the art of dodging all the small pads. So get around a couple there, weave through the rest of them. We only pick up 1 this entire play, and you know what? I would say that's pretty good. Not, of course, to keep the ball out of the net, but if we're trying to keep our boost total as low as possible, we've done a masterful job there of just dodging absolutely everything that was available to us. Now, opponents probably deserved a goal a little bit earlier. I would say the scoreline probably should be 2-1 right around now, but again, who needs small pads? Let's just do the exact same thing again. All the pads around us, who needs them? Just drive right down the field thinking we're going to get the big boost, and then it gets stolen. Once again, masterful decision-making coming through from us, and now we are in a pickle. Why, yes, I would just say, why don't we just tap the ball into an awkward spot? Luckily, teammate bails us out because it is kind of in his direction. Make sure we don't dive here. Okay, that's slightly better. Teammate's going to turn. Okay, we've reset ourselves. Things have Started off a little rocky, but we've gotten back on track a little bit. Back in a 1-1 tie. That's where we want to be. And never mind, not a 1-1 tie anymore. So this one's, minor. This one happens. Teammate misreading where the ball is going. The main issue here, if you want to get better at cheating up on kickoffs, the one thing that I would recommend is try to make sure you don't flip too late, because what's going to happen here is he's going to drive forward an awful long time and then flip really late. This means that he lands after contact is made on the ball, which makes it really difficult for him to adjust his angle on that landing and makes it really difficult for him to play the ball effectively. And you can see, he's still in the air. So now he, has to just kind of guess where it's going on his turn, and he guesses wrong, and it leads to a wide open net. So make sure if you're going to flip on those cheats that you initiate them a bit earlier. That will put you in a bit of a better spot. And now opponents are 2 for 3 on open net. So much, much better than our record of 0-1. So, they're already looking pretty good. And then forget being aware that the opponents are there. Let's just absolutely throw ourselves at a ball and then steal our teammates' boost while we're at it. This is dangerous, right? This is something that you should be careful about. Number one, there's absolutely no reason to jump at this. And this is an important lesson for you guys to learn. And I'd like you guys to learn lessons from the mistakes that are made at this level, because a lot of them are repeated at the lower ranks. So this ball comes off the post, and sure, everything looks awkward. But the reality of the situation is, if we jump now, we have a lot of ground that we need to cover before we can actually shoot this ball. And a lot can change over here before we get there. So there's nothing wrong with just staying flat on the ground for a little bit longer while driving forward, because then no matter what happens, if he misses or if he does clear the ball, we can just react to that and go wherever it is we need to go. But when we jump now, we kind of like on the kickoff example with our teammate, we lose all control of our car. So now we can't make any adjustments on where we're going, meaning that when the ball changes direction kind of unexpectedly because we're not paying attention to our opponent being there, we're completely caught out by it and can't do a gosh darn thing. Gonna recognize opponents up here. That's totally fine. Again, another bit of an early jump, but not, too bad. We can follow this one up and get the 50. And we got the boost. Sure, why not? Another missed open net from our opponents. We love that. Just being a bit patient here. Things have kind of leveled out a little bit now. Nice little passing play down the field. Teammate trying to make something happen. Can't quite, but not the end of the world. A little bit awkward on the positioning here. This is another really important lesson. The chances of the ball staying on this side of the field when this guy's going through the air and our teammate's on the wall is pretty low, because the fact of the matter is, even if it pinches down the wall, eventually it's going to hit the corner on our side, which means it's still going to bounce towards the midfield. So if we want to be ready for that, we really shouldn't be angling towards the wall here, because we limit our ability to play any kind of bounce off the wall. So we should be widening out here so we actually have an angle to attack towards the wall instead of being here. Because if we were wider, we might be able to turn and challenge this, or we'd at least have a better angle on this ball going into the corner. But instead, we're caught under it and now can't really do much from that kind of position. But again, not going to matter too much. We're still okay. No horrendous mistakes. These are the kinds of subtle mistakes that, we normally expect. Another bit of poor transitional defense from our opponents there. A goal that probably shouldn't have happened based on the position that we were in initially in their transition. But we will absolutely take it into a 2-2 tie now. Kickoff, much more successful, just getting it out of the middle to ensure no issues. Bit of a bang away. Could have done a bit more to keep that ball slightly closer to us, but not the end of the world. This one is a subtle mistake, but it's still a mistake. Realistically, everyone here on the defense is going to expect this ball to come forward. So if we really want to throw them off and actually put the ball in a useful spot for our team, just tapping it forward is not going to be the play here. If we don't think we can do anything on this ball ourselves, just tapping it to the right into this open space is going to be the play, because Private is going to commit back to the net because of the threat of the shot. So we should use that fact to take the open space and involve our teammate in the game. And unfortunately, we just don't. So, there is that. Not sure if our teammate would have been there, but again, it would have been an option. But hey, now we're going to capitalize on some awkward positioning from our opponents. And let's just look at this from Harry Johnson's perspective here. So he lands And this is another big thing. So your teammate is going to be coming, you know, out of the net, and you're stuck here in the corner. With the ball being high in the air, you can turn out this way and like go around like this to allow him to come through. And then that way you can rotate in behind them. Going back into the corner directly can cause a lot of problems because you just don't have momentum to turn around. And especially when you recognize you have time, you really don't need to be turning super tightly, because the threat here is not of this ball bouncing, you know, back towards this backboard. The threat is it bouncing around the wall into the midfield, where from a spot like this, we can't really do anything about it. So be careful of this kind of positioning, because you can see he's pretty much in a useless spot here. And he had a little bit of time to reposition his car, and he just didn't. So then he just immediately gets caught out. He gets bumped. His teammate misses the bump in the midfield. And we finally capitalize on another open net that we have available to us to put our open net record at 1-1 for the game. But it does give us a 3-2 lead. So we love that. And kickoff. Yay. Yippee. Teammate. Teammate's having a struggle on kickoff. I will say that. You know, it's unfortunate. I think he just wants to play this ball back to our own corner. And, you know, he just gets a little bit of a heavy touch and it bounces the wrong way. So, yeah, welcome to the GC experience. These, again, top, like, 0.5% of the players. This is what you can expect. We are masters of keeping games interesting. I will say that much at least. So, just under half the game to go. Basically a 0-0 score through some of the most interesting ways possible. Light touch, all the fake, yeah. Keep it close. Can't really get it in front of the net, but I like the idea to, you know, try to do something with it for once in our lives. Decent challenge, at least buys time. Could have just waited. This really wasn't threatening, and we could have, like, stayed more goal side. We're trying too hard here to put this ball towards net when, like, at best, we're getting a 50 with this guy. So it should probably be more jumping to protect our net on this side of the ball, so that if we do lose, the ball is not just sailing down the field directly into our net. But, you know, we at least get up to it. It is very awkward, but we do stall out the momentum enough to allow our teammate to get back. Luckily, Private doesn't have any momentum, and questionable rotation here at best. I'm not exactly sure why we're driving directly at our teammate. Again, we land here. Where can we go to be effective? Well, it's not going to be back into that corner because our teammate's already there. The ball's already there. It's not going to stay there. If we need to play it, it's going to be, you know, coming this way. So let's go get some pads over here and, you know, make it possible to rotate back and make things happen for ourselves instead of throwing ourselves into a useless position where we're kind of stuck in that same spot Harry Johnson was, where we're not able to make a play on this ball. And if this thing bounces flat across, we are in a world of trouble, and we are going to have a very hard time making that save. Luckily, it bounces up. Teammate's able to cut it off, and we're looking A-okay. Teammate gets bumped. We're a little hesitant. We get very lucky that no one's here, but now we're going to put together a very nice passing play, and this really is the pinnacle of GC gameplay, because you see, we have all those mistakes, all those horrendous moments, and then every now and again, you'll get a play where it's like, ah, yes, we do know how to play the game with a nice pass upfield, teammate already ready for it in the transition, and bing, bada, boom, we got ourselves the 4-3 lead. Looking very good when we actually consider, maybe I should do something competent with this ball and, like, actually make use of the hours upon hours that I have put into this game. Why, yes. And then again, we thought, yeesh, man. So anyone want to guess where we're going? Where exactly are we going here? Because we don't even get the height on the ball. We don't even get up high enough to get a block. Like, it looks like maybe we just think we're beat already, so we're trying to block any shot towards our net, which, like, sure. But also, you know, sometimes you just gotta look at the angle that your opponent's jumping from and go, what's your play here? Because, like, what is he gonna do jumping from the side of the field? Like, play it that way? Cool. I'm happy for him. I'm very happy for his ability to play the ball sideways. That is not threatening. So we don't really need to rush to this. We're not gonna really get anything out of a 50. And then even worse, not only do we commit when we probably don't have to, we just don't read the ball well at all. We don't get the height. Our jump looks terrible. Like, thank goodness our teammate is ready for that. And somehow we're going to turn this into a counterattack where, again, why the heck are we jumping so early? We are jumping McJumps a lot here in this game. Let me tell you, we have a completely free net. Completely free. Nobody's here. Nobody's here. Nobody's pressuring us. Why are we jumping? We have 42 boosts. We have plenty to get there. We don't need to rush. We can just wait, because we could very easily get screwed by this post bounce. This could be atrocious. And yet, for whatever reason, we're like, nope, gotta jump now. Gotta go as fast as possible, because what if, I don't know, what if our boost disappears or something and we can't get there? Very risky play, because this should be a very easy open net, and instead, we are very lucky that that ball was not a pixel or two further to the right, because we would have just flat out missed it, and oh boy, would that have been embarrassing to misread a second wall bounce on their goal line in this game. Recognize space, here we go, here's a nice play, and we do end up just banging it away. They're really awkward, but this is good, right? This is recognition of time and score and the situation you find yourself in. We recognize, look, there is nobody here. This guy's floating in the air. This guy's driving backwards. There is no reason, up by 2, that we need to rush this play at all. Best case scenario, we bait these guys to come back towards us, and as we see them come back towards us, we pop it over the top of them into open space, possibly to our teammate, you know, depending on where they go. But this is an incredibly important skill to be able to do, is just recognize the space, recognize the situation you're in, both on the field as well as in the game as a whole, and make sure that we don't rush anything. Now, I will say, we do get baited by a fake challenge. Luckily, our clear is just good enough, but definitely a bit of a almost giveaway of possession. Teammate trying to sneak it into the near post. This is, again, fine, just waiting patiently. Again, we're caught on this sidewall area where we can't really do much. We probably shouldn't be flipping into that area of the field. We have plenty of boost at this point. Like, I don't mind us going this way a little bit, but the second we see our teammate going towards that corner, we can just turn back here and be, like, ready over here. There's no reason for us to flip towards the wall, because, again, the ball is not going to stay on the wall, and even if it does, we don't want to be over here, because turning here is slow. We want the angle. We want to be able to carry momentum, so that from here we could decide, hey, do we want to turn? Do we see our teammate? Great. Then we can circle into the midfield. And, you know, now we're hanging out in a good spot. Instead, we're just all along the wall, and basically any touch our teammate gets is just a giveaway to our opponents if it drops to them. Luckily, teammate does do his job. We're not panicking here. Light touch out. Not the exact bounce we would have wanted that ball to roll up the wall, but it's not the end of the world. We can get a challenge there, another challenge there, and you know what? Let's top this off with one more completely whiffed touch, and that's going to be it. So, fascinating ends in this game. We have an interesting transition out of defense. We recognize Harry Johnson can't go for the ball, so we go ahead and take the ball into the air, and then just force the 50 with the boost we have left, cut off any angles to the net so that this ball is guaranteed to at least go to a safe spot. And because of that, Private, following the lovely flow of this game, has decided to just miss on the goal line one final time, and that is going to be that. So, fascinating game there overall. You can see there were plenty of mistakes that I'm sure we would all like to have back, but that, at the end of the day, is the reality of GC Rocket League, and it really goes to show that no matter how good you get at this game, you're gonna have moments where your brain just goes, yeah, I don't know how to play Rocket League anymore, and you're gonna end up with results like that. So yeah, that should give you guys something to look forward to as you push towards GC. I hope this serves as an inspiration for you. Of course, thank you everybody so much for watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you who made it to this point in the video, and I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you click that subscribe button right down below, so you make sure you don't miss any future Rocket League content. Additionally, if you guys would like to be a bit more involved in the community we're building here, do feel free to check out my Discord, which will be linked down in the description. And as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. See you later, guys.